quick question. Which sentence sounds more natural? I would have called you. Or, I called you. They look similar, but they tell two completely different stories.
And here's something surprising.
More than 90% of English learners understand these words separately. But when they hear would have or would have been in a real conversation, their brain freezes.
That's why so many learners avoid using them, even at the B1 and B2 level. But today, that's going to change.
Because by the end of this lesson, we're going to give you 10 real native speaker situations. No grammar rules, no multiple choice hints, just real conversations. If you can answer all 10 correctly, you'll know you're finally thinking like a native English speaker.
And trust me, the last 3 questions are the ones almost everyone gets wrong. So don't skip ahead, because the ending could completely change the way you speak English forever.
Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Talk Bella. I'm Bella.
And I'm Ryan.
And today we're talking about one of the most confusing structures in English, would have and would have been. You've probably heard native speakers say things like, I would have called you. It would have been amazing. We would have gone if we'd known. And maybe you understood every single word, but somehow the whole sentence still felt confusing. Exactly. That's because this structure isn't really about grammar. It's about thinking the way native speakers think. It's about talking about missed opportunities, regrets, imaginary situations, and looking back at the past in a natural way.
The good news is native speakers use these expressions every single day. At work, with friends, in relationships, during phone calls, even in simple everyday conversations. So once you understand the feeling behind them, you'll start hearing them everywhere.
And don't worry, we're not going to give you a long grammar lecture. Instead, we'll explain everything through real American English conversations. Funny situations, simple stories, and examples you'll actually remember. We'll also compare would have been, could have, and should have, because that's where many English learners get confused. And remember the challenge we mentioned earlier? Near the end of this lesson, you'll test yourself with 10 real native speaker situations. If you can answer them correctly, you'll know you're ready to use would have naturally in your own conversations. All right, grab a coffee, relax, and let's finally make would have one of the easiest parts of your English. All right, everyone. Before we learn the grammar, let's understand the feeling. Because if you understand the feeling, you'll never have to memorize the rule.
I like that already. So what does would have really mean?
In the simplest words, would have talks about something that could have happened in the past, but didn't. That's it.
So it's like looking back at the past and imagining a different result?
Exactly. Native speakers use would have when they're thinking, things could have been different. Imagine your best friend called you yesterday, but your phone was on silent. Today you say, I would have answered your call, but I never heard my phone.
So I wanted to answer, I had the ability to answer, but something stopped me.
Exactly. That's the heart of would have. Now, imagine your friends had an amazing party, but you had to work late. The next day, you say, I would have come to the party, but I had to work.
Again, I wanted to go, but real life changed the result.
Here's an easy way to think about it. Whenever you hear would have, ask yourself 3 questions. Did it happen? No. Did the person want it to happen? Usually, yes. Was there a reason it didn't happen? Yes. That's why native speakers use would have. Listen carefully. I called you. That really happened. Now, I would have called you. That never happened. It stayed only in my imagination.
Wow, just adding would have completely changes the meaning.
Ryan, why didn't you come hiking with us yesterday?
I would have come, but my car broke down.
Oh no. So you wanted to come, but something unexpected happened.
Exactly.
Listen to these common sentences. I would have helped you. We would have stayed longer. She would have said yes. They would have loved this restaurant. I would have bought it if it was cheaper.
These all sound like people looking back at the past.
Don't translate would have word by word. Instead, imagine someone saying, if things had been different. That's the feeling behind almost every would have sentence.
Okay, I finally understand would have. But then, what about would have been? People say things like, it would have been amazing. That would have been easier. Life would have been different. Why do native speakers add been?
Great question. Because would have been isn't about an action. It's about imagining a different situation, feeling, or experience. And once you understand that, everything becomes much easier.
Now let's move to something you'll hear all the time in movies, TV shows, and everyday conversations. Would have been. Honestly, this one used to confuse me even more than would have. That's because they look almost the same, but there's one important difference. Would have usually talks about an action that didn't happen. Would have been usually talks about a situation, feeling, or experience that never became real. So, one is about doing something, and the other is about being something. Exactly. That's the easiest way to remember it. Imagine your favorite singer came to your city, but you couldn't go because you were sick. Your friend asks, "How was the concert?" You reply, "I don't know, but it would have been amazing." You're imagining the experience, not talking about a real memory. Exactly. Imagine your friends went to Hawaii. You couldn't join them because of work. Later you say, "It would have been so much fun." Again, I'm imagining the experience I never had.
Here's another one. The picnic would have been perfect if it hadn't rained.
The picnic wasn't perfect, but you're imagining another version of the past.
Listen carefully. I would have gone. That's an action. Now listen. It would have been wonderful. That's a feeling. She would have helped. Action. She would have been happy. Feeling. We would have stayed longer. Action. The evening would have been unforgettable. Experience.
Wow. Now I can actually hear the difference.
Ryan, did you watch the football game last night?
No, I had to work.
Oh, it would have been exciting. The game went into overtime.
Now I wish I'd seen it.
Native speakers say these all the time. That would have been nice. It would have been easier. Life would have been different. Dinner would have been better with dessert. The trip would have been unforgettable. It would have been the perfect weekend. Here's an easy shortcut. If you're imagining an experience, a feeling, a situation, or someone's condition, you'll often hear would have been.
That's much easier than trying to memorize grammar rules.
Complete the sentence. The movie blank amazing.
Would have been.
The vacation blank perfect.
Would have been.
She blank very happy.
Would have been. Okay, now I understand both would have and would have been. But there's still one thing that confuses almost every English learner. Could have, should have, and would have. They all look so similar. How do native speakers know which one to use?
That's exactly what we're covering next. And trust me, once you understand this comparison, you'll stop mixing them up forever. All right, everyone. Now we're at the part that confuses almost every English learner. Would have, could have, and should have. They look almost identical, but they express three completely different ideas.
Honestly, this is where my brain used to give up.
Don't worry, by the end of this section, you'll know exactly which one to use. Let's start with would have. It shows intention. You wanted something to happen, but it didn't. Example, I would have helped you, but I was sick.
So I wanted to help, but I couldn't.
Now listen carefully. I could have helped you. This doesn't necessarily mean you wanted to. It simply means it was possible. You had the ability.
So maybe I had time, maybe I had the skills, maybe I had the chance, but I didn't do it.
Exactly. Now let's look at should have. This one talks about advice, responsibility, or regret. Example, I should have studied more.
That means studying more was the right thing to do, but I didn't do it.
Let's compare all three. Imagine your friend needed help moving. Would have. I would have helped you, but I was working. I wanted to help.
Could have. I could have helped you. It was possible. Should have. I should have helped you. Helping you was the right thing to do.
Wow, 3 small words, 3 completely different feelings.
Imagine you failed your English exam. You say, I should have studied more.
Because studying more was the right decision.
Now, I could have passed the exam.
It was possible. I had the ability.
And finally, I would have passed the exam if I hadn't been sick.
Now there's a reason. Something prevented it.
Your friends went to the beach, you stayed home. Later, you say, I would have gone, but I had to work.
I could have gone. Maybe you had the chance. I should have gone. Now you regret staying home.
Now I can actually hear the difference.
Ryan, why didn't you come to dinner yesterday?
I would have come, but my flight was delayed.
You could have called me.
You're right. I should have called you.
Perfect. Native speakers have conversations exactly like that. Remember these 3 ideas. Would have equals wanted, could have equals possible, and should have equals right thing. If you remember only those 3 words, you'll already sound much more natural.
Okay, everything is finally making sense, but I still don't know how native speakers use these structures in long conversations. They switch between would have been, could have, and should have so naturally.
Exactly. So in the next part, we're going to listen to real-life conversations at work, with friends, and with family. See if you can notice every would have, could have, and should have before we explain them. That's how native-level listening begins. I know! We could have gone with them if we'd booked earlier.
You're right. It would have been an unforgettable trip.
You look tired today. Didn't you sleep well?
Not really. I stayed up too late watching a movie.
Oh no, you should have gone to bed earlier.
I know. I would have felt much better today.
Now it's your turn. Listen carefully. Which sentence sounds the most natural? A. I would have called you, but my phone died. B. I would call you, but my phone died yesterday. Take a second. Which one is correct? The answer is A, because we're talking about a past situation that never happened.
Which sentence is correct? It would have been amazing, or it would be amazing.
If you're talking about a missed experience in the past, the answer is it would have been amazing. Exactly what native speakers say.
Okay, I think I'm finally starting to think like a native speaker, but there's only one way to know for sure.
Exactly. It's time for the final challenge. 10 real-life situations. No hints, no explanations, just you and your English. Let's see if you can score 10 out of 10.
All right. This is the moment we've been building up to. No more explanations, no more grammar. Just real English.
Here's how it works. We'll give you 10 real-life situations. Pause the video if you need more time. Choose your answer, then we'll explain it together. Ready? Let's see how you do.
Your friend says, "Why didn't you come to my birthday party?" Which reply sounds natural? A. I would have come, but I was out of town. B. I would come, but I was out of town.
The correct answer is A, because you're talking about a past situation that didn't happen.
Your manager asks, "Why didn't you finish the report?" Which sentence fits best? A. I should have started earlier. B. I would have started earlier.
The answer is A, because you're talking about something that was the right thing to do.
Your friend missed an amazing concert. You say, A. It would have been amazing. B. It would be amazing.
The answer is A, because you're imagining a past experience.
You forgot your umbrella. Now you're soaking wet. Which sentence sounds right? A. I should have brought an umbrella. B. I would have brought an umbrella.
The answer is A, because now you regret your decision.
Your phone battery died before you could reply. You say, A. I would have replied, but my phone died. B. I should have replied, but my phone died.
Correct answer, A. You wanted to reply. Something stopped you.
Your friend says, the trip looked incredible. You reply, A. It would have been unforgettable. B. It should have been unforgettable. The answer is A. You're imagining the experience. This is where many learners get confused. You had enough money to buy the jacket, but you didn't. Which sentence fits? A. I could have bought it. B. I should have bought it.
Actually, both can be correct, but they have different meanings. Could have, meaning it was possible. Should have, meaning you regret not buying it.
You wanted to help your friend move, but you were in another city. A. I would have helped you. B. I could have helped you.
The best answer is A, because your intention was there.
You're looking back at your school years. A. Life would have been easier if I'd studied harder. B. Life would be easier if I'd studied harder.
The answer is A.
Everything is happening in the past. Last one. Your friend asks, why didn't you tell me? You reply, A. I would have told you, but I didn't know. B. I would tell you, but I didn't know.
And the correct answer is A. Excellent.
Let's review one last time. Would have, I wanted to, but I couldn't. Would have been, an imagined past situation or experience. Could have, it was possible. Should have, it was the right thing to do.
So, how did you do? Did you score 10 out of 10? Tell us your score in the comments.
If today's lesson helped you think more like a native speaker, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Talk Bella, and join us for the next English podcast. Every lesson gets you one step closer to speaking English with confidence.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. Bye.